leaves of bushes and the ring of trees that enclosed the hole. Directly opposite her, a paved path sloped down across the lawn, levelling off to circle the marble-rimmed pool in the centre, with park benches on either side. The pool had a fountain, a marble maiden in vaguely Greek draperies, holding an urn on her shoulder, from which water spilled. 3 small children toddled about under the watchful eyes of a pair of uniformed nannies. In next to no time, Miranda and Oliver would be old enough to play with them. "Mrs. Fletcher?" the lawyer ventured tentatively. "Sorry, Mr. Irwin. I was thinking. Is that an alley I see between those houses down there, on the other side of the communal garden?" "Not exactly an alley. It might better be described as a foot passage, leading down to Well Walk." "How convenient. And where is the heath?" "The heath?" "Hampstead Heath. It can't be too far away." "Oh, the heath. Just around the corner. Literally. If you would care to descend the steps and walk to the corner." Running up the side of the house and garden was a cobbled alley leading to a block of carriage houses, now used as garages for motors. Beyond these, the way narrowed to another foot passage, ending with a gate onto a lane, and on the other side of the lane was the heath. It couldn't be more perfect for Belinda and her friends, and for the twins when they were old enough. They'd have many of the advantages of both town and country life, not to mention being able to give the dog a good run without the dreary trudge through the streets to Primrose Hill. Daisy would walk Nana much more often when it was so easy, and perhaps at last she'd take off a few of those extra pounds. Ahem. Once again, Daisy apologised for her abstraction. As she pondered, she had strolled back to the foot of the steps, up to the front door of number 6, Constable Circle. Now she stepped backwards to the edge of the pavement and looked up at the facade. It was an attractive place, a detached house built in the last decade of the 19th century, of red brick, the first floor hung with matching tile, in alternating bands of plain and patterned. The front porch was set back between protruding wings, and the paired gables in the tile roof had a dormer between. 4 stories from semi-basement to attics, it was considerably larger than their semi-detached in St. John's Wood. Now that the twins were mobile, Nurse Gilpin really had to have a nursery maid, whether they moved or not. Their present house would be terribly crowded when Belinda came home from school for the holidays. Besides, poor Belle deserved more than the tiny box of a room she had nobly put up with over the summer. For Alec, the journey to Westminster would actually be easier from Hampstead when he went in by tube, not having to change at Baker Street, and by car it was very little farther. Nor would Daisy and Belinda be far from their St. John's Wood friends. The rates were bound to be higher, plus their share of the upkeep of the garden, and Mrs. Dobson would need the help of a house parlour maid, as well as a full-time daily woman. But if they kept the house, they'd keep old Mr. Walsall's fortune as well. Logic told her to jump at the prospect. Then why did it make her so uneasy? Perhaps her reluctance was just sentimental, an atavistic, was that the word she wanted? Attachment to family land, bred in the blood by her aristocratic ancestors. But Daisy's brother, having been killed in the war, the Dalrymple estate now belonged to a distant cousin. The suburban semi, bought 2 or 3 decades ago by Alec's father, was scarcely in the same category as Fairacres. More likely, Daisy decided with cynical honesty, she just didn't want to face the disruption of the move. Yet if they sold, the sensible thing to do with the money would be to buy a bigger house elsewhere, which would involve hunting for one, as well as the horrors of moving. "We'll keep it." "But Mr. Fletcher hasn't even seen it yet." "He said it's for me to decide." Though Daisy might wish Alec had not left the decision